Boxing King Media, powered by BYD and the Riyadh season. Gareth A. Davies, you made it to Riyadh looking smart and missing a few buttons on your shirt.
Well, no, I'm not. I'm not missing a few buttons on my shirt. Now, my father spoke to me about this. You highlighted the fact I had 2 buttons done up on my black shirt. It was all the way down to the navel, I must confess, and I'd never realised. In fact, I looked back on a few other interviews. I did it with Jake Paul the other day when I was being filmed interviewing. I didn't realise my buttons were undone. It's not a good sign, that, is it? A man of my age with those kind of things going on. But no, you were trying to red herring me there. They are done up today, buttoned up. Only three undone for you, especially for you. I know what you'll have, a package of questions for me. It's great to be here in Riyadh season. You and I have been coming here every single event for Riyadh season. It's our 6th, I think, maybe one in LA and one in Wembley. It's an anniversary, isn't it? Can you believe it's a year ago that we were doing all that deep stuff with Tyson Fury and Francis Ngannou? That year's gone really quickly, and boxing's changed so much. And you know, within the boxing world, we've got so much to thank Saudi Arabian investment, the passion of Turkey Al-Sheikh, the minister here, for wanting to put these big fights on, which is leading to this fight between Beterbiev and Bivol, Dimitri Bivol and Artur Beterbiev, which we wouldn't have seen on such a massive platform. Look what's happened over the last year. 3 promoters from the UK on the card, 3 broadcasters, all of us out here as a group in terms of what we are in the boxing industry. It's brilliant to be here, and it's brilliant to see you, my friend, Boxing King Media. How are you?
I'm good. You know, it's what you pointed out, some good facts there, and I think, you know, people joke about thanking His Excellency all the time, but I think, for being real, if he'd never got involved in boxing, we wouldn't have had the experiences we've had.
A year ago, 15 months ago, I mean, I know that Fury and Ngannou was announced in about August, I think, last year. So it's been a 15-month process. Frank Warren in the July and June started saying there's a game changer coming. And as he's admitted afterwards, not as big a game changer as he actually realised it was going to be. But Eddie Hearn has come on board. Ben Shalom's on board. He's got a few boxers on this card. Fraser Clarke, Ben Whittaker. Trying to think of them all now. There's more. Eubank. He's certainly got 3 or 4. I think he's got a couple of others. But there's been a development, a sliding kind of development to the change in the algorithm of boxing, a paradigm shift, if you like. And that has been brought about by the right people being in place. All orchestrated at the beginning for opening the Riyadh season with Tyson Fury against Francis Ngannou. But look what's come from that. Turkey Al-Sheikh. Clearly, the minister clearly has a passion for the sport. They've realised boxing is dramatic. It's theatre. Everybody knows what Riyadh season is now. It's got its critics sometimes. I don't agree with those people. Within the industry, the sport is developing. 15 months ago, Boxing King Media, we sat there and we said, when are these big heavyweight fights going to happen? Now we're going to get all of them. We may even get Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, in my view, as we get into this chat. But yeah, it's great to be here. It's always great to see you. And like I say, there's overarching things to discuss on what is an anniversary.
It is, and like I said, it's fascinating that we're getting another undisputed fight, which is just a big treat for boxing fans. But before we talk about the boxing, I can't let you off, Gareth, because the last interview we did some really good numbers. We had some good engagement. The fans dropped in some comments.
Was it tier 1? Was it tier 2? Was it Champions League? Was it Premiership?
So best way I can describe it, Fury Usyk. I think the Fury Usyk post-fight reaction, we actually did it in this hotel about 6 a.m, didn't we?
We did.
And I had to buy that.
Yeah,
I had to buy that £50 breakfast as well. I still remember that. But
do I owe you a £50 breakfast then? It was a lovely breakfast.
Yeah.
It was a long night, that.
Yeah. So that did about 80,000 views, and I think this one did about 60,000.
Right.
So it's still really good.
What were we discussing? Oh, it was in the aftermath of Joshua and Dubois. And Joshua. Okay.
That's it. Literally was a couple of yards away from here. So somebody reckons this is the alchemy method. He reckons Gareth would be better in a museum as a guide or as a curator.
Curator. I'd love to be a museum curator. If there's any jobs going in the British Museum or large museums around the world, I love history and I love artifacts. So if there are any major jobs going around the world that I can do in my retirement, because I'm going to be doing this for another 10 years, hopefully, then I would happily take them up. So if there's any large museums watching this, art galleries, any biennales or different festivals going on, I am available to curate.
There you go, Gareth working in a museum. Somebody said, good to see Deirdre Barlow looking well.
I don't know who Deirdre Barlow is, but I'm glad she's looking well. I presume that I look like Deirdre Barlow. You know, good stuff. Do you know who Deirdre Barlow is?
I'll Google it in a bit and see what comes up, because I don't even know myself, to be fair. And, poor Gareth, he can't even afford any buttons on his shirt, so they're still complaining about the buttons on your shirt. But yeah, I can see you have got buttons. It's just unbuttoned.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but you don't want me buttoned up to here anyway, so it's well, thank you very much. No, there are buttons. There are no buttons missing on my shirt, but I was missing in action, not doing those 3 buttons up on the last interview. I hands up, should have buttoned them up.
I've just found Deirdre Barlow, and honestly, she looks nothing like you.
Well, there's one picture of her with a here.
Don't look nothing like it.
Well, maybe a little bit of a curly perm, but I think she's quite a pretty lady, actually, Deirdre Barlow. Where was she from?
I'm guessing one of the soaps.
Like she's from on one of the soaps.
Coronation Street.
Compliment.
Yeah. Coronation Street. Another one we've got here. Gareth would be good on Celebrity Master Chef.
Oh, I'd love to go on Celebrity MasterChef. I'd love to go on MasterChef and do a little bit of cooking. I would. Do love a little bit of cooking. I mainly fish and some Italian dishes, but that's what I do most of the time. But I'd love to go on there. It'd be great fun. So MasterChef, it's like an advert for me today, isn't it? So MasterChef, if you want me to come on and do some cooking, I would love to come on some point. I do a wicked breakfast as well.
There'll be people screaming down the phones right now. Can you shut the F up and talk about the boxing? So
Yeah, exactly.
let's talk about the main event.
Good questions this week.
There's some good ones. Nice little mix there. Beterbiev Bivol. Who in rather than going through breakdowns and stuff like that, because people switch off it, I just want to know, who do you think is a favourite?
I go back and forth. And it's shifted with the bookies in the last 48 hours. Beterbiev with his 20 knockouts from 20 wins was the marginal favourite. Now it's moved to Bivol. I think with the bookies, I think because he's 20 knockouts and 20 wins, 20 wins, 20 knockouts, undefeated, you can make a case for him being the betting favourite. But the boxing skills of Bivol, look back at that Canelo fight. Canelo just could not get through. I think right now I'm going to make... Today I think Bivol wins on points. Yesterday I thought Beterbiev stopped him late. I can't wait to see the two guys. I want to see them. I talk about this. I want to kind of be up close with them. I want to kind of breathe them in a little bit. I want to kind of know where they are and feel their energy. And it really gives you something in fight week, doesn't it, when you do that? It does sometimes change your mind, but betting favourite right now, I've just spoken to Beterbiev's trainer, Mark Ramsey from Montreal. He says, we got the game plan.
Do you think they're underestimating Beterbiev's boxing skills? Because everyone talks about the knockout ratio, but if you look at his amateur pedigree, he's won gold in everything. So are people forgetting that the guy is actually a boxer? Yeah, not the Olympics, but everything else he's won gold in, hasn't he?
Yeah, and that fight with Alexander Usyk at the London Olympics, you seen it?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah.
Oh, it's brilliant, and there he is attacking the body.
So I think people are underestimating that the guy can actually box.
No, look, he's a great boxer. He's boxed at the top level. He's 39 though. I think Bivol should be again, but then you say don't go back and forth discussing it, but the trouble is once you see the silhouettes moving and their styles and the different fights they've been involved in, Beterbiev wrecks you at some point. Can Bivol sustain the firefight? will Beterbiev have enough if Bivol keeps him at range for 6-7 rounds? And we might look, I've said this to a few other people in chats and in some interviews, we might not be surprised by the outcome when it plays out. That one of them might have those skills to do the other one. And it might be Beterbiev swarming Bivol and he can't take it because he throws combinations of punches in 5, 6, 7 punches. Or it might be Bivol completely outboxing him and he can't get to him. But I think there's a bit of a... We may need 2 or 3 fights then to settle this.
Well, we'll stick with the prediction that you said off the cuff. Fraser Clarke.
Which is what, Bivol points?
Yeah.
Or Beterbiev by stopping?
Yeah. Just pick one. On the spot, pick one.
Bivol points.
Right. Bivol points is what you're going for.
Beterbiev late knockout.
No, you said Bivol points. We're going to stick with that one. Fraser Clarke, I've not got a chance to speak to Fabio yet, but I spoke to Fraser.
He's coming in late, that's why I think.
No, he came in late last night. So Fraser I talked to him about the after effects of that fight that they had, the brutality on the body, etc. And I saw a lot of people are saying they shouldn't fight each other straight away, they should wait, etc. And just as we're talking, Eddie Hearn's just sworn in past in his little shorts. Do you reckon the shorts are too shorts for him? Okay.
Look at those legs. Look at those. Look at those legs. No, you haven't. That's true. Eddie Hearn there. Short, no, just right length. It's me that wears short shorts, unfortunately. The last time I
kicked out the restaurant. Well, they tried to kick him out, but I don't know how, but he managed to blag his way back in.
Did he really get kicked? Honest to God.
Yeah, I don't know what he did, but I saw him sat there eating, the only person in there with shorts on.
The last time I was in short shorts at Matchroom, he stopped the interview to say, "Look at your legs." I mean, I have got good legs, but I don't think he thinks I've got good legs, but according to him. Anyway, there'll be more questions about this next time. Leg competition,
leg fetish and all that. But so Fraser Clarke, is it right that they're rematching each other straight away? Because I asked him this. I remember a lot of people saying that kind of fight should not happen again. If it's going to happen, they need to do it later on because the effects that would leave on their bodies is too much.
This is part of the change of Turkey Al Sheikh and Riyadh season. They're getting paid, I'm sure, remunerated for putting their bodies on the... Was it March? I think it was around March time, 6 months ago, 7 months ago, for putting their bodies on the line. So they should make the most of the opportunity now. I don't think they're chief supports yet, but I hope they will be by the end of the week. I think they should fight before Beterbiev and Bivol, and I'd put Eubank just before them. No, the timing's right. The timing is right. We desperately want... The optics, when you think about that fight, Boxing King Media, you go, I want to see round 13, and that is what we're going to see. Round 13. Cannot wait.
Does Jaya Pattaya beat Jack Massey? Because
Did we pick this time or not? Wardley and Clarke.
No, we didn't actually. Good question.
I picked Wardley first time.
Yeah.
In a very close fight, and I had him just winning it.
You got this time?
I think I had him just winning it. I have to look back on what I scored it at the time. It was a very, very close fight. And now I've got Fraser Clarke making the adjustments and winning it this time. And then the other side of it is the dog, the absolute animal in Fabio Wardley, who will not be denied. I cannot wait for this fight.
You, me, both. Just going to get some quick predictions off you. Jaya Pattaya, Jack Massey, what happens?
I think Jack will be game. Look at Jack's fought heavyweights in Joseph Parker, hasn't he, in recent times? Brilliant against Isaac Chamberlain. Good time for him. Jaya Pattaya inside 8.
Okay. Sky Nicholson, Raven Chapman.
I'm picking Sky. Fast rounds, winning, points decision, squat stance. Raven battling her heart out to try and get on the inside, because I think she's got a good shell, Nicholson, and she's proven it against several opponents. Points decision, Nicholson.
Ben Whittaker.
Love Raven to do well though as well.
Ben Whittaker, Liam Cameron.
Ben Whittaker, was that a 10-rounder?
I think so, yeah.
I'd like to see Ben Whittaker make a statement, so I'm going to say what I'd like him to do, which is do his pirouettes, do his dancing, get critiqued, but get 2 million more Instagram followers. Stars and stripes out for him. Brilliant character. He's going to be a massive star in the sport, in my view. Can't wait till he's up against bulls in there, that he's going to have to be the matador. 7th round stoppage.
Okay. Interesting pick that.
Why?
Just because Liam's never been stopped, and
No,
he
he's
just
tough.
went the distance with Lyndon Arthur.
He's got to make a statement. It's points or a late stoppage.
Excellent stoppage. Okay, interesting. Want to get your opinion on Tyson Fury's interview he did the other day with the undisputed game that's coming out there this week.
Dice rolling and
Yeah.
knock him out.
Well, no, he talked about the AJ fight, specifically saying at the end of the day it's a travesty if we didn't get the fight.
No,
and he said,
don't hear him say
and he
that.
said no matter if he loses 20 more fights, if he doesn't win another fight, even if it's 10 years away, he goes, we have to fight. What do you make of that? Do you think that it will happen?
It's great to see Tyson Fury change his tune about wanting an Anthony Joshua fight, and be absolutely clear about it. Fantastic to hear. Even though he said we could fight when we're 50, I don't want to see them fight when they're 50. I want to see them fight in this sequence soon. I think it's brilliant to hear it. I think it's a fight we all want. I'd like to see them fight twice, if it merits it. Once here probably, and once in the UK, because they're going to want one of the fights here. It's so big for them.
Curiosity, Gareth. You know, you deal with a lot of the inside stuff. How is that fight negotiated? Because I'm going to ask Eddie Hearn this. If Tyson Fury beats Usyk, how do they negotiate that?
I don't think they'll fight each other next. I think if Tyson Fury beats Usyk, or if he stops him with body shots in round 8 or 9, or he wins a points decision this time, I think the next thing they'll hatch is a trilogy. I just think they'll do a trilogy, because we'll need to know in this era who's the number one. And then Daniel Dubois might need to come into the mix.
But let's just say if it does happen next,
What happens?
if let's say a scenario where Fury wins and AJ sits out and waits for Fury,
Sure.
and then they fight each other, how on earth do they negotiate that? Because last time they couldn't make it, and now you've got Fury with all the belts and AJ coming off a loss.
They don't need a belt on the line for that fight. They don't need a belt. Here's how it plays out for me. This is what if I had not a magic wand, but this is how I would do it if I was promoting it. And I think I've got a good idea of how to do it. Obviously it won't play out like this, but what I would do, I'd say to AJ, don't take the Dubois rematch right now. Even though you hear the noises that they want the rematch to go ahead, and that, powers that be want it to go ahead, I would sit Joshua out. Just watch the Fury Usyk fight. See what happens in that fight. If Fury wins, let them do the trilogy, because I think it merits a trilogy. Go and fight Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua. I think everyone will watch that. Obviously, it's not the big marquee fight, but it's still a marquee fight. Go and fight Dillian White, and then fight Fury after that. Then if it goes well against Fury, or if there's 2 fights, fight Daniel Dubois again. I think there's 5 fights there for Joshua. 2 Fury fights, a Dubois fight, a Wilder fight, and a White fight. I think, and then we might get those from him. I think there's probably only 3 fights out there for Tyson Fury. It's another Usyk fight, and another Usyk fight, and 2 Joshua fights. I don't think he's going to fight anyone else. Who else is he isn't going to? He isn't in that place. Where does Daniel Dubois go in all of this? That's the other thing, to be fair to him.
I think some fascinating.
If Fury loses, then I would look at maybe Fury and Joshua fighting. But Daniel Dubois deserves to fight Alexander Usyk. If Alexander Usyk beats Fury a second time, I think he deserves a big fight. And there's an interesting discussion to be had on Some people rank Dubois number 3 at the moment, number 2. Even some people have ranked him number 2. I don't agree with that. I think Fury beats Dubois. We may never see it. But every time there's a big heavyweight event now, it shifts that stack, doesn't it? Like Bicoli and Joshua, the rumble in or the lowdown in Lagos, or the rumble in the Congo, or there's some massive fights out there. Does Daniel Dubois beat Martin Bicoli?
According to Billy Nelson, no.
No, according to Billy Nelson, no, of course. Well, look, of course, yeah, but that's like saying that's glass. You're not going one way or the other. He might not. It's a really interesting division right now. It's a really, really interesting, and that's how I see. If you want to kind of create the end of the era and have all the guys fighting each other, you haven't got, like, for example, if Wilder beat Joshua in that fight and they fought each other, I'd then like to see USYK and Wilder fight at some point, because he'd be back in a certain way. I think it's a really thrilling time.
It's definitely an exciting time to be a boxing fan.
And also, here's the other thing. The reason I'm saying it is this. Alexander Usyk, Tyson Fury, and Anthony Joshua, when they leave the sport, and Deontay Wilder, when these guys leave the sport, they are leaving an enormous gap for other people to fulfill and fill commercially and in sporting terms in our industry. Moses Town obviously looks like he's going to be a great star. Joseph Parker's going to be around for a while. Agit Kabayel, Daniel Dubois, all these guys are going to be around for a while. But the big four as they have been, and they're not now as big a four as they were, I think I'd like to see them play out. I don't want to see any of those men damaged. But I think there's pathways to lots of fights. Do you see the way my mind's working with the diagram or not?
I can definitely see it. Like, it could go any way. It could be completely wrong, mate. I'm going to ask you one last question. We need a quick answer because I think we're rolling up to 20 minutes.
No.
I asked a few fighters yesterday what their worst fears were. I asked Beterbiev. He said flying, but I thought at the time he said flies, but he was actually talking about flying. Bivol is scared of snakes and spiders. Fraser Clarke is shit scared of rats. What else did I ask? I can't remember the rest, but Gareth Davies, what's your worst fear?
It's big spiders. I once went to Thailand and in Koh Samed and stayed in these, it was called Rastaman bungalows. I think it was Rastaman bungalows or Rasta bungalows. These wooden huts up in the woods, and it rained. It was on a resort. And in the night, all these spiders came in. And we had these mag lights hanging down which made our bedding or our nets look like spiders' webs. And there must have been 10 spiders that size on the I couldn't sleep, that were on the ceiling, literally huge. I put the mag light, and I went down. I didn't sleep a wink. I went down in the morning and spoke to the Thai lady that was running it and her husband, and I said, massive spiders, what can I do about them? And they said, that's okay, don't worry, they bite but not poisonous. I'm like, whoa, spiders. Don't have fears of other things, really. Don't have fears of other things.
That's an interesting one. It's amazing how many people are scared of spiders. But yeah, Gareth, as always, a pleasure. Looking forward to the rest of the fight week. It should be a good week. Thank you very much for your time.